The war for Earth had lasted weeks, but now a turning point had arrived. Humanity had fought with courage, ingenuity, and unity, forcing the aliens, the Erathans, to reconsider their plans. The once feared invaders, who had entered Earth's orbit expecting an easy victory, now faced a species they could not break. Dr. Lena Aurora stood at the Global Command Center in Geneva, her eyes scanning live feeds from satellites and drones. The Erathan fleet had weakened significantly. Several ships had been destroyed, others disabled, and the command vessels had retreated into orbit. Communication between alien ships had become chaotic. Humans had proven themselves capable, resilient, and unpredictable. "We've done more than survive," Lena said softly. "We've shown them who we are." Captain Raj Malik, monitoring operations from New York, nodded grimly. "And they've realized it. The Erathans are calling for a meeting. I think they want to negotiate." Across the globe, humans braced for the first official contact with the alien commanders since the start of the war. There was tension, of course, but also cautious optimism. Humanity had fought with honor and intelligence. They had shown the galaxy that Earth was not a planet to be taken lightly. A massive alien ship hovered above the Pacific Ocean. From it, a transmission reached Earth's command centers, a holographic image of the Erathan leader, towering, luminous, and formidable. Yet there was a note of respect in the message. "People of Earth," the leader said, his voice resonating through every channel, "you have fought bravely and with ingenuity. You have exceeded our expectations. We recognize your strength, your courage, and your unity. We wish to end this conflict peacefully and discuss terms that benefit both our species." The message stunned humanity. After weeks of war, the aliens were offering peace. The idea that a species could stand against such power and force respect across the galaxy seemed almost impossible. But humans had done it. Dr. Lena Aurora, Captain Malik, and global leaders convened immediately. Strategies were discussed, protocols reviewed, and security ensured. They needed to approach this carefully. The aliens were powerful, but humanity's victories had given them leverage. Negotiations had to be smart, fair, and firm. The first meeting took place in orbit aboard a neutral space station provided by the aliens. Humanity sent a delegation that included scientists, diplomats, and military leaders. Dr. Lena Aurora and Captain Malik represented Earth's ingenuity and courage. The alien leader observed them carefully. "You have demonstrated qualities we did not anticipate," he said. "Courage, intelligence, unity, these are rare among species. Your victory is not measured by the ships you have destroyed, but by the spirit you have shown." Lena stepped forward. "We do not seek conflict, but we will defend our planet. We fight for life, for hope, and for the right to shape our destiny. If we have gained your respect, then perhaps we can find a way to coexist." Negotiations began. The aliens shared knowledge about their technology and navigation, offering insights into faster-than-light travel, energy systems, and defensive techniques. In exchange, humans provided details about Earth's ecosystems, cultures, and technological advancements. It was an exchange that promised mutual growth and respect. As talks continued, humanity began to see the broader implications of their actions. By standing together, by fighting with courage and intelligence, they had not only protected Earth, they had earned a place in the galaxy's consciousness. Humans were no longer just a species of one small planet. They were a force to be reckoned with, a species capable of brilliance, bravery, and diplomacy. Back on Earth, celebrations were cautious but heartfelt. Cities rebuilt rapidly using shared knowledge, technology, and resources. Communities volunteered to help one another, inspired by the idea that cooperation had saved the planet. Schools held lessons about the war, not as a story of fear, but as a story of courage, ingenuity, and unity. Children drew pictures of human heroes, the scientists, pilots, and ordinary citizens who had risked everything to defend their home. Engineers and innovators continued to work with the new alien technology, creating systems to protect Earth, while also advancing human progress. Captain Malik addressed the world through broadcasts. "We have faced the impossible. We have fought with courage, intelligence, and unity, and we have prevailed. Not because we are the strongest, but because we never gave up. Today, Earth stands as one planet, united, resilient, and proud. Let this be a lesson to the galaxy. Humans are not to be underestimated." Dr. Lena Aurora visited schools, laboratories, and research centers worldwide. She emphasized that every human had played a role in the victory. "This is not just my achievement," she told a crowd of students. "It is the achievement of every person who contributed, who cared, and who believed in a better future." Courage comes in many forms, and today the galaxy has witnessed it. The Arithans, too, recognized the significance of what they had witnessed. They had encountered a species that defied expectations. Earthlings had not surrendered, they had not panicked, and they had not been broken. Instead, they had adapted, improvised, and fought with courage and intelligence. In the weeks that followed, humans and aliens collaborated on scientific projects, cultural exchanges, and joint exploration missions. Earth was no longer isolated. Humans learned about the wider galaxy, its species, and the challenges and wonders beyond their world. And in return, the galaxy learned about humanity, its creativity, bravery, and capacity for unity. Lena often reflected on the journey. From the first sight of the alien ships to the daring missions in orbit, every moment had been a test of human courage and ingenuity. And yet the greatest lesson was clear. Strength was not just in weapons or technology, but in unity, determination, and the refusal to give up. Captain Malik stood on a rooftop in New York one evening watching the stars. He thought about the people who had fought, the missions that had succeeded against all odds, and the planet that had survived. "We have shown them what it means to be human," he said quietly, "and we will continue to do so every day." The galaxy, once indifferent or skeptical of Earth, now watched with interest and respect. Humans had proven themselves as a species capable of facing overwhelming odds and emerging not just alive, but triumphant. They had defended their planet, earned their place in the stars, and inspired countless others across the cosmos. And as Earth continued to rebuild, humans looked to the future with hope and determination. The war had been terrifying, yes, but it had also revealed something profound. Humanity's potential was limitless when courage, intelligence, and unity came together. The story of Earth's survival spread through the galaxy, not as a tale of fear, but as a legend of hope. Humans had been threatened by an advanced species, had faced impossible odds, and had emerged victorious. And in doing so, they had inspired the universe to recognize the true strength of a united species. One that refused to surrender, one that fought with intelligence, and one that believed in the power of hope. Lena and Captain Malik watched the skies together. The alien ships had departed peacefully, leaving Earth stronger, wiser, and more united than ever. "This is only the beginning," Lena said. "The galaxy is watching, and now it knows that humans can rise to any challenge." Captain Malik smiled. "And if the galaxy has learned anything," he said, "it's that Earth will never be underestimated again." The planet thrived. Humanity rebuilt, explored, and reached for the stars with new knowledge and confidence. Every citizen, from the youngest child to the oldest scientist, had contributed to this achievement. Earth had faced the impossible and had shown the galaxy what it meant to be human. The war had ended, but humanity's story was only beginning. A species once thought small and fragile had proven that courage, unity, and intelligence could overcome even the greatest threats. And the galaxy, now watching closely, could only wait to see what humans would do next. The galaxy had finally caught its breath. For decades, star systems had burned, planets had been lost, and civilizations had fought in wars that stretched across thousands of light years. But now, a fragile peace had settled like a quiet blanket over the stars. Alien fleets were docked in massive space stations, their weapons idle. Former battlefields, once scarred with craters and debris, were being repaired. Cities on distant worlds were rebuilt, shining with new hope. For many, it felt as if the worst was over. In the Grand Stellar Council, representatives from the galaxy's most powerful civilizations gathered. They wore ceremonial robes and carried symbols of power, tokens meant to show strength but also unity. Leaders spoke proudly about the treaties they had signed, the borders they had redrawn, and the war machines they had dismantled. Many believed humanity, long thought insignificant, had been a quiet witness to this peace, forgotten in the outer sectors. "Peace has finally returned," said Supreme Chancellor Vryn, an imposing alien with emerald skin and eyes that glowed in dim light. "No race will rise against another. The galaxy is ours to rebuild." The hall erupted in applause. Leaders smiled, shook hands, and offered each other gifts. There was laughter. There was relief. Most everyone felt safe for the first time in generations, but not all were convinced. In the distant fringes of the galaxy, Scouts patrolled the dark edges of space. Among them was a young alien officer named Kale. His ship was small and fast, perfect for reconnaissance. He moved silently through the empty void, scanning star clusters and distant planets for anomalies. It was during one of these routine patrols that Kale noticed something unusual. On his sensors appeared faint energy signatures, signals that did not belong to any known civilization. They were fast, precise, and unlike anything he had seen before. Curiosity gnawed at him. He zoomed in, following the trails across light years. These readings, they are too organized, Kale muttered to himself. This is not random traffic. Someone is coming. Back at the council, Kale's report arrived through secure channels. He described fast-moving ships appearing in sectors previously thought empty, moving with a precision unmatched by any known alien fleet. The council received the report with laughter. Humans, scoffed Admiral Vesh, a veteran of countless wars. Surely you mean the colonies on the edge of the Andromeda sector. They have barely mastered interstellar travel. There is no way they could mount a fleet capable of reaching us. Kale's sensors, however, did not lie. The signatures were real and they were approaching, but the council dismissed his warnings. The galaxy had grown overconfident, believing that peace was permanent. Meanwhile, far beyond the central sectors, human ships moved silently. Unlike the massive, slow-moving fleets of alien civilizations, human vessels were sleek, fast, and deceptively simple in appearance. Their hulls shimmered under starlight, reflecting colors that no alien technology could replicate. They moved in perfect formation, engines humming with quiet energy. There was no display of force, no loud signals of threat, only a calm, unwavering advance toward the heart of the galaxy. On board one of the leading ships, Captain Elena Royce observed the star map with keen eyes. Her crew moved around her, performing checks with disciplined precision. Unlike alien crews, humans did not rely solely on protocol or hierarchy. They thought creatively, adapted instantly, and worked together as a single, fluid entity. Elena, the sensor array shows no significant resistance ahead, said Lieutenant Kieran, glancing at the readings. The outer sectors are clear. Good, Elena replied. Her voice was calm, but there was a spark in her eyes, a mixture of determination and anticipation. We proceed quietly. Let them think the war is over. Let them believe they are safe. They will see soon enough that humanity does not forget. Humanity does not wait. Back in the council, the alien leaders continued their celebrations. No one expected what was coming. They had grown used to human colonies being small, quiet, and isolated. Even after decades of wars involving countless species, humans were rarely considered a serious threat. That complacency would soon cost them dearly. On the fringes, Kale continued to monitor the approaching fleet. Each second brought the humans closer, their speed unmatched by any alien engine. Kale's communicator buzzed urgently, but every time he tried to relay a warning, the council dismissed him. They are nothing, Admiral Vesh said again. Just shadows at the edge of the galaxy. Humans cannot possibly affect us now. Kale's green eyes narrowed. He had seen enough. These signals were different. Humans moved with a confidence and precision that reminded him of predators, silent, calculating, and deadly if underestimated. Meanwhile, the humans crossed sectors with remarkable efficiency. They passed by old battlefields, remnants of alien wars, without unnecessary detours. Each ship, each crew member, seemed to anticipate the challenges of space travel with uncanny skill. Humans repaired minor damages instantly, recalculated routes in moments, and adjusted strategies without hesitation. On board Elena's ship, she reviewed the logs of previous human exploratory missions. Humans had survived disasters that would have destroyed entire fleets of alien civilizations. They had adapted to planets with hostile atmospheres, navigated through storms of asteroids, and outsmarted predators no other species had survived. This was why the humans moved differently. They did not simply rely on technology, they relied on thought, courage, and determination. Far away, in a sector known for its abandoned mines and asteroid belts, Kyle detected the first human vessel entering alien-controlled space. It appeared almost like a small comet streaking across the darkness, moving with precision that no alien fleet could match. Alarmed, Kale sent one final message. Council, you must pay attention. Humans are not what you think. They are coming, and they are prepared. This is not a warning, it is a reality you cannot ignore. The council ignored it. Their celebrations continued. Peace had lulled them into false comfort, and arrogance blinded them to the truth. That night, across the galaxy, humans continued their advance. Ships moved through warp lanes with perfect timing, avoiding detection when possible. For humans, this was not war. It was preparation. They moved with purpose, silently correcting errors, learning from every obstacle and never losing focus. In the distant outer rim, Kyle watched in awe. He had been trained to trust data and sensors, but nothing in his experience could explain the humans' precision and discipline. He began to understand why alien civilizations had always underestimated humanity. Humans were not just another species. They were something entirely different. As stars streaked past the observation ports of Kale's ship, he realized one thing clearly. The calm of the galaxy was about to end. And when humans finally arrived, the galaxy would see strength it had never imagined. The calm of the galaxy was about to shatter. Across the Grand Stellar Council, alien leaders continued their celebrations, convinced that peace would last forever. They did not see what was coming. In the darkness of deep space, humanity's fleet moved steadily forward. On board the flagship Resolute, Captain Elena Royce observed the alien systems ahead. Stars glittered against the black void, and distant planets rotated silently, unaware that their borders were about to be tested. The fleet moved with perfect coordination. Every ship had a role, and every crew member knew it. Unlike alien fleets, which relied on sheer numbers and power, humans relied on speed, flexibility, and intelligence. Lieutenant Kieran approached Elena's command station. Sensors show a major alien fleet in the sector. They are unprepared but moving to intercept if they detect us. Elena nodded, her eyes steady. Then we make sure they detect us, but on our terms. No panic, no reckless action. Let them see humans the way they never imagined. Across the sector, the first signs of humans appeared on alien radar. At first, officers assumed it was a glitch, signals from a small, insignificant human colony. But as the readings grew stronger, panic began to ripple through the alien fleet. Ships scrambled to their battle stations, alarms blared, and communication channels overflowed with confusion. Admiral Vaish's voice thundered across the bridge of the alien flagship. "Identify these vessels. Are they reinforcements from the Andromeda colonies? Explain." An officer frantically reported, "Sir, the fleet is unlike anything in our records. They are small, fast, and moving in perfect formation. Their engines emit a stable energy signature, not similar to any alien propulsion we know." Vesh's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. Humans cannot operate like this. Their technology is primitive. They cannot be serious." But reality could not be ignored. The human fleet was entering the system. It was small but precise, a deadly diamond cutting through the void. Alien weapon systems targeted the human ships, but the humans were already moving in ways no calculations had predicted. Captain Elena watched the holographic map of alien positions. "Deploy the drones first," she ordered. "Let's see how they react. Keep the main fleet ready, but do not engage until necessary." The alien fleet detected the drones. They fired warning shots, expecting humans to retreat. But humans did not retreat. Instead, the drones moved in patterns that seemed to anticipate alien strategies, weaving between laser beams and energy pulses as if the attackers had no advantage at all. "This is absurd," an alien officer muttered. "How do they move like this? Our weapons should have hit them already." The humans were calm. Crew members coordinated without hesitation. Damage to one ship was repaired instantly by onboard systems. The drones relayed information, and the fleet adjusted in real time. This was not luck. It was human planning, teamwork, and adaptability at its finest. On the alien flagship, Admiral Vesh's frustration grew. "Target their flagship. Destroy it before they spread further." Sensors tracked Elena's Resolute, now moving closer to the center of the alien formation. The alien weapons locked on, but when they fired, the human ship shifted positions at the last possible moment, avoiding every attack with uncanny timing. "Impossible," Vesh shouted. "Every shot should have hit." Elena observed the enemy. She knew that fear and overconfidence were the most dangerous weapons of the aliens. They believed humans could not match their strength, so they underestimated her fleet. That was the advantage humans needed. "Lieutenant Kieran," she said quietly, "prepare the next maneuver. Use the flank pattern. Keep them guessing. Make them think we are retreating. Then strike." Kieran nodded. "Understood, Captain." Engaging flank sequence, the human ship shifted formation. They appeared to pull back, but it was a feint. Alien ships moved forward aggressively, assuming victory was within reach. Then, without warning, human ships swung in from the side, striking with precision. Energy pulses disabled alien shields, and targeted attacks disrupted their communications. Chaos erupted in the alien fleet. For the first time, the aliens realized they had miscalculated. Humans did not fight like any known species. They did not rely on numbers alone, brute force or rigid tactics. Humans adapted. They learned. They struck where least expected and retreated before retaliation could hit. Kyle, the young alien scout, watched from his small ship on the outskirts. His sensors confirmed what he had feared. Humans were not only surviving, they were thriving in combat. He had reported their approach to the council, but no one had listened. Now he understood why humans had always been underestimated. They are different, Kale whispered. Not just fast, not just smart. They think in ways we cannot predict. They are dangerous. The battle continued for hours. Alien officers barked orders, but their fleet was disorganized. Communications were jammed. Weapons misfired. Every attack was countered by human ingenuity. Small human teams boarded disabled alien vessels and repaired them, turning enemy technology into human advantage. Each success demoralized the aliens further. In the midst of the battle, Elena's calm presence inspired her crew. They moved with confidence, never panicking, never hesitating. Their precision and teamwork were unmatched. Even when one ship was damaged, the crew repaired it while continuing to execute maneuvers. Every obstacle became an opportunity. Captain, the aliens are retreating, Kieran reported. They are pulling back in confusion. Elena nodded, keeping her expression neutral. Maintain formation. Follow them carefully, but do not overextend. Let them learn the lesson we need them to understand. The aliens retreated toward the outer sectors, their pride shattered. They had underestimated humanity, thinking the war was over and that humans were irrelevant. Now they faced a species that could strike with intelligence, courage, and determination, unmatched in the galaxy. Kale returned to the council with reports of the encounter. This time the leaders could not ignore him. Screens lit up with footage of human ships in action, drones weaving through fire, strike teams boarding vessels, and fleets moving in perfect synchronization. Even the most skeptical officers fell silent. Supreme Chancellor Vrin's eyes widened. Humans, no, they are not weak. They are unlike anything we have faced. Admiral Vesh gritted his teeth. We must regroup. We cannot allow this to continue. Kyle shook his head. You do not understand. Humans are not like any other species. They do not fight the way we do. Numbers, weapons, and experience. They matter less to them than courage, creativity, and teamwork. If we underestimate them again, the consequences will be catastrophic. Across the galaxy, humans continued their silent march forward. They had no desire to destroy without cause, no need to boast. They simply moved with purpose, showing the galaxy that even a species long underestimated could rise with precision and power. As the first alien fleet retreated, whispers spread. Across countless systems, officers and civilians alike spoke in hushed tones. Humans are coming. And they are not what we expected. Captain Elena stood on the bridge of the Resolute, watching stars streak past. The galaxy has seen the first sign, she said softly. But this is only the beginning. They will know soon enough that humanity does not wait. Humanity does not forget. Humanity does not surrender. And in that moment, the universe began to change. The war the galaxy thought was over was not over at all. It was only just beginning. And the humans were the unexpected force that would reshape everything. The galaxy had begun to tremble with whispers. The reports of the first human fleet's arrival spread faster than any communication network could manage. Alien leaders who once laughed at the human colonies now scrambled to understand a species that had moved from the edges of the galaxy to its very heart with unexpected speed and skill. In the central star systems, intelligence officers studied every piece of data they could gather. Holographic maps displayed human ships in precise formations, moving with a coordination that seemed impossible. Every move humans made had a purpose. Every attack, every defense, every maneuver had logic that stretched beyond alien comprehension. Admiral Vesh paced the bridge of his flagship. His claws clicked against the metal floor. This cannot be real, he muttered. They are too efficient, too adaptable. How can a species we considered minor operate like this? Kale, the young alien officer, stood quietly beside him. "Admiral, I warned the Council, but no one listened. Humans do not follow rules the way we do. They think differently. They adapt. They learn instantly." Vesh's eyes narrowed. "Then we must find a way to stop them." "But how? We outnumber them." "We are stronger. And yet, each encounter they grow stronger, faster, smarter. It is as if they anticipate every move before we make it." Meanwhile, Captain Elena Royce and her fleet had moved further into the galaxy. Humans did not seek unnecessary conflict. Their goal was clear: establish presence, secure pathways, and demonstrate capability. Yet where they moved, the aliens began to notice patterns that defied all previous strategies. On board the Resolute, Elena watched a nearby planet through the observation port. The surface was covered in sprawling cities, a hub of alien technology and life. "Kieran," she said, "prepare a strike team. We will send them to assist the local authorities with infrastructure repairs. They will witness humans in action and they will see what cooperation can achieve." Lieutenant Kieran nodded. "Understood, Captain. But won't this reveal our position?" Elena smiled faintly. "Let them see. Let them understand that humans do not conquer for the sake of conquest. We adapt, we improve, we teach. That alone is a lesson many have forgotten." The strike team deployed. Small, efficient ships carried elite humans to the planet's surface. They landed amid alien officials, engineers, and citizens. At first, the aliens watched with suspicion, expecting a show of dominance. Humans, however, did not act with hostility. They began assessing the infrastructure, repairing broken systems, and improving defenses with techniques unfamiliar to any alien engineer. Alien officers were stunned. Machines they had spent years designing were being repaired and enhanced in hours by humans. Civilians watched as humans instructed local teams, not with commands but with clear explanations and teamwork. Problems that had stumped alien engineers for months were solved in minutes. "This is impossible," muttered one officer. "How do they know this? How do they work so fast, and how do they teach at the same time?" Kale, observing from his ship above the planet, felt a mixture of awe and fear. He had known humans were capable, but seeing them in action, solving problems, adapting to alien technology, and instructing others in real time, he realized humans were more than a military threat. They were a force that could reshape civilizations without firing a single weapon. Back in space, human ships continued to demonstrate superiority in navigation and strategy. When alien patrols attempted to intercept or block them, humans adjusted instantly. Each maneuver seemed to anticipate alien tactics, leaving enemy fleets confused and frustrated. They had never faced an opponent like this before. In one notable incident, a damaged alien battleship drifted near a dense asteroid field. Alien commanders considered it lost, believing no rescue could be attempted without risking their own ships. But humans acted differently. A small strike team boarded the derelict vessel, repaired key systems, and used it to gather intelligence. By the time alien leaders noticed, the battleship had become operational under human control, its sensors and weapons now serving a fleet that had once seemed powerless. Admiral Vesh could hardly comprehend what he saw. "They turn our technology against us, without even destroying it. How is this possible?" Kale shook his head. "They are not like any species we have encountered. Strength alone does not define them. They use intelligence, creativity, and teamwork to turn the impossible into reality." The galaxy began to watch humans not only as warriors, but as teachers. Human crews offered guidance to planets recovering from war. They repaired environmental systems, restored communications, and optimized defenses. Wherever humans went, systems improved. Alien civilizations, initially wary, began to recognize a simple truth. Humans were efficient, adaptive, and unstoppable in their ability to solve problems. On board the Resolute, Elena addressed her crew. "Remember this, everyone. Our goal is not to dominate, but to show what can be done when intelligence, courage, and cooperation are applied. We are here to teach by example, to demonstrate that a species underestimated is not necessarily weak." Her words were met with nods and quiet determination. Every crew member understood that their actions were larger than the fleet. They were redefining how the galaxy viewed humanity. Meanwhile, in distant sectors, rumors of human abilities spread. Alien fleets reported encounters where humans repaired or improved alien technology faster than their creators. Colonies spoke of human crews navigating storms of asteroids, radiation fields, and space debris with precision unmatched by any alien pilot. Civilians began to tell stories of humans surviving situations considered impossible, inspiring both hope and fear. Kale, observing from his scout ship, compiled reports in disbelief. He had seen humans fight, repair, teach, and adapt. He had seen them turn disadvantage into advantage with speed and ingenuity. He realized the galaxy's underestimation of humanity was its greatest mistake. "The Council was wrong," he muttered. "We cannot underestimate them again. Not for a moment. They are more than soldiers. They are innovators, teachers, and problem solvers. Every encounter with them teaches lessons we never anticipated." Back on the planet where the strike team had landed, aliens had begun to cooperate. Engineers who once doubted humans now asked questions. Students and scholars observed, fascinated by the efficiency and skill displayed. For the first time, many realized that humans were not seeking conquest but understanding, improvement, and collaboration. Even alien leaders began to acknowledge this quietly. In private chambers, discussions turned from fear to cautious respect. Some admitted that humanity's ability to adapt and teach was unmatched. Others, however, worried that this very ability made humans unpredictable and dangerous. As the day ended, Elena watched the sunset from the observation deck of the Resolute. Stars stretched across the horizon, glittering against the black void of space. "They see our strength," she said softly. "But they still do not understand the full extent. The galaxy will learn soon enough that humans do not only fight, they adapt, they solve, they teach. And that makes us unstoppable." Lieutenant Kieran stood beside her. "Captain, the aliens are beginning to retreat, but many are observing us. They are curious and cautious." Elena nodded. "Good, let them watch. Curiosity is the first step toward understanding. And when they understand, they will know that humanity cannot be ignored." In the following weeks, humans moved strategically through multiple sectors. Each mission, each encounter, each repair or demonstration of skill strengthened their reputation. Alien fleets found themselves puzzled, unable to predict human tactics. Colonies once indifferent now sought human assistance. And across the galaxy, whispers spread like wildfire. Humans were not just strong, they were clever, adaptable, and brave in ways no other species had ever demonstrated. Kyle, observing everything from a scout ship, finally spoke aloud. The galaxy thought the war was over. They thought peace had returned. But humans have changed everything, and this is only the beginning. As human ships advanced, the galaxy realized a simple truth. Underestimating humanity was a fatal mistake. Strength was not only in weapons or numbers. Strength was in intelligence, courage, teamwork, and the ability to turn every challenge into an opportunity. And humanity, the galaxy's most underestimated species, was teaching everyone exactly what that meant. The galaxy was no longer laughing at humans. From the edges of distant sectors to the core worlds of the Grand Stellar Council, whispers of human skill, speed, and intelligence had spread like wildfire. Alien fleets that once believed in their own invincibility now moved cautiously, unsure of what the humans could do next. Admiral Vesh, his pride shattered after the earlier encounters, paced the bridge of his flagship. Screens glowed with reports from every system. Entire fleets had been confused, outmaneuvered, and in some cases partially disabled by humans without a single full-scale attack. The reports were unprecedented. "They adapt too quickly," Vesh growled. "Our formations, our plans, they all fail against them. How can a single species, once considered weak, move so efficiently?" Kale, standing nearby, nodded gravely. "They are not weak, Admiral. They are different. They do not rely only on weapons or numbers. They use intelligence, creativity, and strategy together. Even our most advanced fleets cannot predict their moves." Vesh clenched his claws. "Then we must gather everything we have. We must strike before they spread further. Prepare the largest fleet in history. We will show humanity that the galaxy cannot be taken lightly." Thousands of ships assembled, each one bristling with weapons and shields. Entire battle stations were brought online. Communications channels buzzed with orders and strategy updates. The aliens were determined to crush the humans in one decisive battle. They believed overwhelming strength would be enough. Meanwhile, on the human side, Captain Eleanor Royce and her fleet were already observing the growing armada. Unlike the aliens, humans did not panic or rush. They studied the enemy movements, analyzing patterns and predicting responses. Every ship in the fleet knew its role, but they also knew how to adapt in real time. Lieutenant Kieran approached Elena. Captain, the alien fleet is massive. Numbers alone will not work in our favor. How should we proceed? Elena's eyes were calm. Numbers do not always matter. Observation, adaptation, and timing matter more. They expect us to act like they do. They do not expect humans to think differently. That is our advantage. The humans deployed small reconnaissance drones first, scanning alien formations while remaining largely invisible. Each drone collected data, relaying it to the fleet instantly. The aliens attempted to target them, but the drones moved unpredictably, avoiding attacks and analyzing weaknesses in real time. In the alien command bridge, panic spread among officers. Our weapons are missing their targets. The drones. They anticipate every move, one officer shouted. Vesh slammed his claws on the console. Fire everything. Do not let them advance. But even as alien weapons fired, the humans moved with precision, slipping between beams, dodging blasts, and keeping formation. The humans were patient, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. They did not attack recklessly, they attacked strategically. On the outskirts of the battlefield, Kale observed silently. He could see human ships weaving through the alien fleet as if they were threads in a tapestry. They are controlling the battle without even engaging fully, he muttered. Every move teaches them more about us and more about how to respond. Then the moment came. Elena signaled the fleet. In a sudden, coordinated maneuver, human ships struck at the flanks of the alien formation. Shields were weakened, communications disrupted, and smaller vessels were immobilized. The humans used alien strategies against them, anticipating every counterattack. Alien ships attempted to retreat, but humans had already blocked key escape routes. Strike teams boarded several vessels not to destroy, but to disable weapons and systems temporarily. Within minutes, the aliens realized that their largest fleet had been outmaneuvered by a smaller, more adaptable force. Vesh could not believe what he saw. Impossible. This should not happen. Kale's voice was quiet but firm. It is happening, Admiral. Humans do not fight like other species. They adapt. They learn. They exploit weaknesses we cannot even imagine. Across the galaxy, the first true turning point became clear. The war was not decided by raw power or numbers, but by creativity, courage, and adaptability. Humans were teaching the galaxy that strength came in many forms, and the traditional measures of military might were no longer sufficient. On board the Resolute, Elena addressed her crew. Today we show the galaxy that humans do not simply fight. They lead, they adapt, and they survive. Remember, every action, every maneuver teaches a lesson, and every lesson shapes the future. Her crew moved with renewed focus. Every ship, every drone, every strike team worked in perfect harmony. They repaired damages instantly, adapted to changing conditions, and continued pressing forward. The alien fleet, once confident in its superiority, began to retreat in disarray. Kale transmitted urgent messages to the Council. The humans are in control of the battle. Our fleets are confused and fragmented. If we do not change our approach, we risk losing the confidence and control we have fought for decades to establish. Supreme Chancellor Vryn, observing from the Council chambers, realized the gravity of the situation. We underestimated humanity for too long, she admitted. They are not just a threat. They are a force that redefines strategy, tactics, and resilience. If we continue to fight them as we have fought others, we will fail. Even as the alien leaders debated, humans had moved to secure the star cluster. Planets that were once heavily fortified now saw human crews assisting local populations, repairing defenses, and ensuring order. Unlike other species, humans did not impose themselves. They improved, protected, and taught. This approach only added to their legend. Aliens realized that humans were not seeking to conquer. They were reshaping the galaxy with their intelligence, courage, and adaptability. It was a lesson the galaxy had never seen before. Kyle observed the aftermath of the battle from his scout ship. He saw alien fleets retreating, humans assisting civilians, and the efficiency of their operations. He could not deny it any longer. Humanity was changing the galaxy's understanding of power. They are not like anyone we have faced, Kyle said quietly. We cannot fight them as we fight others. We cannot predict them. We cannot overpower them with numbers alone. We must learn from them or fall behind. Meanwhile, Elena and her crew prepared for the next phase. They had achieved the first objective. Show the galaxy that humans were capable, adaptable, and not to be underestimated. But there was more work to do. The galaxy needed to understand that humans did not simply fight. They redefined what it meant to survive, lead, and teach. As night fell across the star cluster, the humans continued their operations. Drones scanned distant sectors, strike teams repaired vital systems, and ships maintained formations with perfect synchronization. Every move reinforced a single message. Humanity had arrived, and they were unlike anything the galaxy had encountered before. Across countless worlds, the alien populations whispered about the humans. They spoke of courage, ingenuity, and skill. Even the most hardened soldiers admitted they had never seen a species like this. Humans were no longer underestimated. They were respected, feared, and studied. Kyle finally returned to the council with a full report. "The turning point is here," he said. "Humans are teaching the galaxy a new lesson, one that cannot be ignored. We must adapt or we will fall behind." The council listened in stunned silence. They could no longer view humans as insignificant. The galaxy had seen a species that could fight, adapt, and teach simultaneously. The war was far from over, but the balance had shifted. Humans were no longer the underestimated underdogs. They were the standard by which all other species would now be measured. And as Elena looked out at the stars, she knew the galaxy was only beginning to understand humanity's true potential. The turning point had come, and it was only the beginning of a new era.